want to unblock it? So hello again. We are team number 8, and we are discussing today principle number 5, which is that success requires a flexible vision. Chadwick's article asks us, is the team our highest priority? Does this fundamental value guide everything that we do? And if so, creativity and innovation will follow easily. We're going to talk about 9 underlying parts to principle number 5, which is number 1, we don't have a system but a philosophy. Number 2, teach the fundamentals. Number 3, innovate is necessary. Number 4, change is constant. Number 5, thank those who assist. Number 6, help those who sacrificed. Number 7, stand up and cheer. And number 8, give them a chance to rest. And number 9, let innovation flow from the vision. So next, Becca will talk to us about how Dean Smith didn't have a system, but a philosophy.
Thanks, Michaela. So basically, as we've said, Dean Smith decided that we don't have a system, but a philosophy, because calling something a system connotes a rigidity. And in order to be successful, you have to be able to have flexibility. And people use a system, but they follow a philosophy, and a philosophy allows its followers to adapt to it as it's needed. And as you can see, we've got some homegrown innovation here, and caption underneath says, where there's a will, there's a way. Thank you. So we also have to build a very solid foundation. When Chadwick was visiting his alma mater, he had the opportunity to observe a basketball practice, and he recognized that even though it was all these years later and they were in a different gymnasium and all the players, that there was still the same exact foundation on which he was taught when he was in basketball practice all those years prior. He saw that the teamwork and team ethics and the group practices were all the same, and that the coach helped them to achieve that strength. However, building a solid foundation is not enough. You also have to be able to be flexible. Without flexibility, it won't take more than just a stiff breeze to blow you off your balance. And if you have flexibility, then you're able to roll with the punches and not be bowled over. So flexibility is key in order for your philosophy to maintain its success, and we has it. And now Claire is going to tell us about the teaching fundamentals.
Thank you. Okay, so once again, Principle 5 states that success requires a flexible vision. And Coach Smith said that teaching the fundamentals and reteaching the fundamentals was key to this. So he had his team running very elementary drills like super elementary dribbling practices in order to make them second nature to his team. It was ingrained in them, so when they actually got out there to play the game, they didn't even have to think about it. He also said that details matter. He attributed some of his biggest wins to his team's methodical attention to detail. He also encouraged his team to keep at it and never give up in the face of conflict or hardship. Because everyone gets tired, everyone makes mistakes, and it's really how you come back from being tired and recover from making mistakes that shows your endurance and also reveals some of your weaknesses and shows you things that you can work on. Innovation is necessary in order to have a flexible vision. A leader's ability and willingness to innovate when the game plan just isn't working is essential to team development. Peter Drucker illustrates this point by stating that nearly half of the Fortune 500 companies operating between 1975 and 1980 failed because of lack of innovation. They no longer exist. He updated this estimate to say that it only takes 18 months for companies to go from leader to loser when there's a lack of innovation. Innovation has to be constant. And this can be a little bit scary sometimes because its nemesis and twin sister happens to be failure. So companies like Google and 3M actually embrace this by encouraging their employees to innovate and be creative, and they actually give them time to do that. And they don't reprimand them for their failures. And one important thing to remember about innovation is that with it comes criticism oftentimes. We all know that change can be a really scary process, and leaders just need to know that and be willing to deal with it. Change is constant. Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. And this is illustrated by great business leaders today and their ability to embrace constant change. Baby boomers are a really great example of this because a lot of them are leading some of the most successful companies in the world today. And they've had to embrace change in a lot of ways, like our generation, for instance. They couldn't have even fathomed smartphones or iPads or Kindles that are necessary in order to communicate in this world today, but they've been able to do that and they've been successful because of it. Now Jessie is going to talk to you about the importance of thanking people.
All right, and thank you, Claire. So on Coach Smith's team, the person who scored the points had to actually point to the person who passed the ball, because without them, the points wouldn't be possible. He really wanted to make sure that that person was recognized, because everyone knew who actually scored. Now, if he noticed that someone didn't point to the person who passed him the ball, the entire team had to run laps the next day, because it wasn't about the individual, it was about the entire team. One time during a game, one of the players actually pointed to the person who passed him the ball, even after he missed the shot. Coach Smith really liked this, because it showed that even when you're set up for success, if you fail, you still should thank the person who made it possible. You see, he was trying to teach people a lesson about life, and that is that no great leader has ever had any success without actually thanking those who helped him along the way. Later on in this section, it talks about sending thank you emails or thank you notes to people who thank you, because it's just, or who have helped you, sorry, because it's just an easy way to encourage them. So I went ahead and tried to apply that to our team by sending a little email to my teammates, just thanking them for all their hard work. Everyone always shows up on time, puts in 100%, and it's just really nice working with this team. So helping those who sacrifice is another innovation that Coach Smith implemented. And what happens is that when a player dives for a ball during a game, the player who's closest to them has to run and help them up. Because if someone sacrifices for the team, someone needs to be there, well, to help them up. We also need to be constantly on the lookout for people. This can be at home or at work who are actually going above and beyond so that we can reward them. And this can be something as easy as a meal or movie out, anything that's literally a pick-me-up for this person. So with that, I'm going to pass this to Nikayla. But first, I'm a terrible shot, so if Nikayla has to dive for this, Nikayla, please help her up.
Okay, so next we're going to go over stand up and cheer. Coach Smith believes that good little habits develop into good big habits. Chadwick thinks that he was trying to achieve something bigger than this, synergy, the power of encouragement within a team. A good example that Chadwick uses with his own staff members is he gathers everyone together, sets a chair in the middle of the room, and then has each staff member one by one go ahead and sit in the chair while receiving praise from everyone else. Next, we have give them a chance to rest. He believes in taking yourself in and out of the game as necessary if you're tired. He believes that a rested reserve is much more valuable to the team than a tired superstar. Proper rest determines job performance. And then the last principle that he believes in is let innovation flow from the vision. He believed that the team was number one, not the individual. If you live by your principles and by your values, your innovations will come naturally. And he also believes that creativity flows spontaneously when you live by your principles. And next we will have Nikayla go ahead and wrap up.
Okay, so thanks guys for listening, and once again, I'm just gonna go over the 9 parts to principle number 5, which is success requires flexibility. The first is we don't have a system but a philosophy. Teach the fundamentals, innovate as necessary, realize that change is constant, thank those who assist and help those who sacrifice, stand up and cheer, give them a chance to rest, and let innovation flow from the vision. So thanks for listening.